So it's I'm back up again. It's been a couple of weeks, and I'm not too sure what to expect. But I kind of wanted to shoot this part of coming up and seeing. It's been very cold in the last 2 weeks, although today it's windy and very warm. It's 11 degrees right now. Inside the cabin, last time we came up after a while when it was cold, it was 5 degrees inside, Celsius. And if it's the same temperature, then that's a good thing, even though, I mean, this isn't the best test. It would have been minus 10 out when I went in there and it was 5, but anyways, let's see what happens. Well, luckily for me, most of the snow's melted away. I wasn't sure if it had kept snowing, if I'd actually have been able to get in. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, is that ever lucky? Oh, is that ever lucky? That tree we were worried about because it's partially rotten. It's a poplar tree, and they kind of have that problem. They get mucky in the middle. There, the whole top of it broke off. We were afraid it was going to fall over onto the trailer. And lucky for us, the top broke off. I can't believe this. Now Bruni's going to go crazy for a while because she always does when we get up here, because playtime. Yes, yes, Bruni, just wait. Yeah, just wait. I'm gonna go get the key. Still recording, yep. Oh, wow, that wind. Oh no, how'd it get locked? To go to the other side. Shoot. Stupid automatic locking systems. Alright. Get yourself all muddy now. Okay. Ooh, is it ever muddy? Well, I brought my skates up. I don't think I need them though. It's not frozen yet, and it's middle of December. What are you smelling? Alright, how does it feel in here? Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. Going to be the big test. If we can see that. 7 degrees. Let's see if I can get a light on that, if I can find a light. Is the drill light enough? Is that light enough? Yeah, 7 degrees. So, as far as I can tell, let's go look for other signs if it's frozen in here. I mean, it's cold, but let's see if, and you know, my Eska did not freeze. No, it's actually, wow. Stayed pretty nice in here. Go out and have a look at the water. Come on, Bruni. Uh-oh. Yeah, that blew over too. And that the table didn't blow over. I had set that way. Yeah, I moved the solar panels so we get a little bit more light on it at the end of the day. Oh, and there's another tree that's down. Holy cow. Wow. Blew a lot of stuff around here. The dock's still there. And the lake, it's not frozen. I don't believe it. Anything else? That blew over. The roof looks okay. Chimney's fine. Rooney's all excited because she is expecting her BALL to be around somewhere. Colder in here than it is outside, which is kind of a good thing because that means it got this cold, but it didn't get any colder that we could tell. It's gonna go check that bucket. Because if it would have frozen, that should still be partially frozen. So, there. Bathroom sink here. I'm up here to try and get some water running in there. Toilets in. It just seems fine. Then let's go out and have a look at our tree. So that was very lucky if the top of the tree is broke off, because it makes it much safer. And it managed to keep itself mostly off of the laneway. Did it hit the trailer? It could have taken out the trailer. It could have taken out it could have taken out this trailer. It could have taken out our RV trailer. Look at that thing. That's what's wrong with poplar. When they get so old, they rot in the middle. And they're just, you're better off to cut them when they're younger, use the wood in them, and not let the younger poplars grow in their place. That's completely rotten in the middle, as you can see. All that brown in the center. All this. The whole inside of the tree rotted. So, it's a lot less to worry about dropping that one now. Okay, I got to get stuff inside. That's it for now. So I've just finished my breakfast on Coleman stove. I don't know if that gets it there or not. Yeah, Coleman stove. I think it's still only about 12 degrees in here. One of the good things about the fire going out, well, it must have been around 10 or 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock last night. Everything's cool in here. I don't have to worry about, like, if I leave the table cream out, that it goes bad. Because it's cool enough in here. I don't know if you can see that. So we've got, hang on. We've got about, it's gone from 12 to just over 13. Okay, so that's not a whole lot. I have a little area here where I have my breakfast. And the sun's coming out outside. It's getting bright. It's not supposed to be sunny today. Wanted to kind of, if you can still see me. That's hot. Talk about something on the stove. or the Kachelofen. Just gonna switch the camera around. So if you can see down there, that's where the damper is. It's just a round thing on the side. And I guess it got me thinking today about how these things work. And you see on the outside there's the clay tile, and there's the damper, and then there's the metal firebox inside. Okay, so it's open on the bottom, and it's down here that I want to put the cold air inlet, like from the basement up to get fresh air. And what it did is it kind of reminded me this morning of some of the things that I've kind of wanted up here. Oh, that light's terrible. Anyways, it's kind of what some of the things that I've wanted up here. And one of the things is, when I'm back at home, and I'm like everyone else, we have a forced air furnace, unless you live in an apartment or something. When I'm at home, I used to, especially if I had a bad night's sleep, dread our furnace coming on. I didn't set it back like today, like for the going back to standard time. So it's coming on at 6 o'clock in the morning. But you have that bad sleep, and all of a sudden this furnace comes on, and it's like, oh God, I got to get up now. The furnace is on at 7 o'clock, and then I used to dread the sound of the furnace. And it's a newer furnace, and they're much more efficient, but the blower motor on it is extremely loud. So when I came up here and people were talking about propane heat, and in my head, I don't want noise. If I get the crackling in the fireplace, that's good. It's so still up here and quiet. Like there really isn't any noise pollution. And why would I want to have that noise pollution if I'm in here in this environment? So it's designed for, I could put radiant in-floor heating in if I wanted to. I'm hoping that once we insulate properly, the insulation's not done, and it is going to help, because it did go from I had it up to about 17 yesterday afternoon, maybe as high as 18. I took a reading of about 17, and this morning, with no fire on from about 10 o'clock to 6:30 when I got down, it had dropped down to 12 degrees. Just had to get the fire started. And it also made me, okay, so there's the sound. You want the quiet. You don't want to have a furnace fan kicking on all the time. And even the fireplace, the way the Kachelofen is designed with the air jacket around the outside, causes convection. So when you have those jackets around there, they cause like a vortex, and it actually draws much more air. We were talking about getting one of those fans that you put on top of the fireplaces, but this cabin seems to be warming up quite evenly without that, and it's because of that. It's because you don't need a fan. You don't need a fan because of the rush of heat going up. It just creates its own. It creates its own fan. So I like it that it's quiet. Every once in a while, I hear a little bunk in the in the fireplace is wood's falling down. It's got kind of a high heating chamber, and then stuff falls down. I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about too was being up here and kind of like roughing it. And I watch another YouTube, this is where I actually got started watching YouTube, and that's Sean James. And he has a My Self-Reliance where it was kind of neat because I could watch someone else work in the comfort of my own home. And if I thought he was going too slow, I'd turn the speed up so he'd get going a bit quicker, because I don't have a lot of patience. I want to see things get done. Anyways, he had to talk about comfort, about how all these people watch him roughing it and being in cold on YouTube instead of going out and doing it themselves. Now, I myself have had a really hard time with it, being 67 and that with comfort. How do I give that up coming up here? At my house in southern Ontario, I have 2 bathrooms upstairs and a bathroom a powder room on the main floor and another bathroom in the basement. So bathrooms are everywhere. And central air, it's like central furnace, central air, TV, everything. I have my Wi-Fi, internet. I like I said, I go and watch Sean James. And anyways, one of the things that he talked about on there was that I think really got to me was comfort. That you could look at me up here and say, wow, this guy's really roughing it. I mean, the place is a dump. He's got clothes everywhere. He's got food out everywhere. The only problem or the only thing I have to say to that is, I really had a really nice breakfast here. Sitting in front of the fire, watching it get light out, managing to cook my food on a Coleman stove, even though I had some flames going, major flames going before. And it's cool in here, and I'm wearing a vest. And here's the really strange thing about this comfort thing. I should not be comfortable here. And yet when I'm at home, where the temperature is like waking hours, I turn it down overnight, it goes down to like 18 degrees Celsius overnight, and then heats up to 21 in the morning. So it's around 20 degrees Celsius all day. I get chills. I kind of sometimes don't like having a shower because I get out of the shower and I feel chilled because I get cold. I feel a chill and I'll start shivering. I'll sit down and watch TV at 7 o'clock at night because that's usually what we do. I play my guitar and we go and sit down and watch TV, have some snacks, watch a movie or a series on Netflix or something. And I find that I cover myself up with a blanket. But it's 21 degrees Celsius there. I haven't gotten it to 21. There's Bruni's banging my camera. What do you want? Oh, no, you had your breakfast. Don't bug me. Anyways, I feel chilled and I'll feel uncomfortable. And yet I was here last night, and like I said, it could only have gone up to high as 18. But when I was, maybe it's because I'm doing more. I was working on the plumbing in the basement. I was in a t-shirt and sweatpants. And later on I started getting a bit cool before I went to bed. And I'm up here right now and I've got like thin sweatpants on and a sweatshirt and a down vest. And that's how I came down this morning. And I don't have any chills, and I really don't. I feel kind of relaxed and at ease. I don't feel any discomfort. And I really have a hard time understanding why I can be so uncomfortable in my own. The basement finish, it's a 4,500 square foot house. It's a big house. It's plastered. It's, oak doors and everything. So it's a nice house and has everything in it. Why I would feel uncomfortable in there and then come up here where the insulation's not all done and, well, that's kind of a mess too. And I'm relying on heat from the stove that really hasn't even gotten it up to 20, and yet I tend to feel more comfortable up here. I mean, I'm really enjoying sitting here having my coffee. So I'm kind of asking that anyone who's watching out there, I don't get a lot of comments, and I like to have some comments because I kind of like to know which way to go with the channel. This what I'm doing here isn't really instructional. It was more. I wanted to do this because I wanted to kind of, okay, is the experiment of being able to come up here and not having it freeze, and being able to make it comfortably warm with just the stove, or do I have to add something? We won't know probably until next year because all the insulation's got to be done, and then when I get my solar panels in, I'll have hot water then. I do miss the hot water, and yesterday I got running water going to the I got drain water at the sink. So that's like that little thing there is just made life so much easier for me. But if it would be nice if people would comment, give your ideas about what I'm doing, to like or subscribe, or to dislike if there's something you don't like that I'm doing, if I'm too long-winded, or but I'm kind of like, you're in kind of like in a void, or in a space, and you kind of, without comments from people talking about what I'm doing, it's kind of hard to know what people actually think. So if you can comment, like, I also sent a link to some relatives in Germany. I don't know if they've watched this. It would be nice if they commented and said that they did. And if there's anything that would interest them up here, because, I mean, frankly, to people living in Central Europe or Southern Europe, this has got to be, well, I guess it's the same as people living in like Toronto as opposed to coming up here. I mean, there's no boats on the water. I heard a noise outside, but I have a feeling someone has a generator running. So it could be people up from me that are up there, or they got cleaning people in or something like that. I don't know. I could hear a motor running. But there's definitely no boat. So water's not frozen over. It's only has a bit of ice on it. But other than that, it's like, it's silent up here. It's very peaceful. And I don't know. Trying to figure out why I feel so comfortable up here as being in an uncomfortable surrounding than I am back north. Anyway, so I'm going to stop this now. So yeah, remember to comment, to like, to subscribe. You can press there's a notification button. I'm still learning how to do this YouTube thing. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at computers and stuff like that. I'm 67 years old. We're not, computer geniuses are, when I was young, no one had cell phones. And the first phone number I remember had a Sherwood 2, is a Sherwood 25544. That's the phone number, and it was a party line that you shared with about 4 or 5 other people on your street. So, I mean, that's what I kind of grew up with, and now we're surrounded by technology, and I'm up here in this cabin, although I do get internet on my phone when I get cell service. So, okay, I gotta stop talking. Okay, thanks a lot.